The Philippines is now classified as an upper-middle-income country by the World Bank. A Senate hearing exposes the links of online extremist group 764 to the Tacloban school shooting. Senate Secretary Renato Bantog Jr. announces the public can attend Vice President Sara Duterte's impeachment trial in person. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. will hold a bilateral meeting with Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney during his official visit to Canada. And Filipino pole vaulter EJ Obiena wins back-to-back gold medals in Austria and Poland. The Philippines is now classified as an upper-middle-income country by the World Bank after 4 decades in the lower-middle-income bracket. It says Wednesday, July 1, the Philippines' gross national income per capita reached $4,850, exceeding the $4,636 threshold for upper-middle-income economies. Economy Planning and Development Secretary Arsenio Balisacan says this confirms the, quote, resilience of the Philippine economy. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. meantime says the status is a vote of confidence in our country's future.
Greater confidence means more investments. More investments means more businesses, better quality jobs, and more opportunities for Filipino families.
But upper middle income status is not the same as broad prosperity. Gross national income per capita is a national average, not a measure of how income is distributed among households. It also includes income earned by Filipinos abroad, meaning overseas Filipino workers help push the country across the threshold. Senator Risa Ontiveros says the online extremist network 764 may have influenced the deadly school shooting in Tacloban.
May mga indikasyon po na ang naganap na pamamaril sa Tacloban ay may impluwensya ng grupong tinatawag na 764. Marami rin pong indikasyon na yang mga NVE, nihilistic violent extremism networks na yan, ginagawang pugad ng recruitment yung mga games na nilalaro ng kabataan, gaya ng Roblox, Minecraft, at Gorebox.
Aside from 764, the police also identified True Crime Community and No Lives Matter as interconnected online subcultures. These subcultures are characterized by coercion, self-harm, exploitation of minors, and glorification of violence motivated by nihilistic violent extremism. The group leads at-risk children into committing violent crimes or lure them into sextortion schemes. This is the first time authorities identified a specific group to online grooming that is tied to nihilistic violent extremism. 764 has been designated by the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation as a national security threat and as a terrorist group by Canada. The two minors tagged in the shooting were 14-year-old alias Nash and 15-year-old alias Rod. Experts describe a multi-stage grooming process.
There is a methodology that's being used by this group, no? And if I may articulate, Madam Chair, no? So the 3 layers of, we call it the layers of risk, no?
Cybersecurity expert Angel Redobles says initial contact happens through online games or social media. For the second phase, the child is recruited into private communities. The third phase then involves psychological manipulation involving coercion, blackmail, and escalating violence. Senate Secretary Renato Bantog Jr. announces the public can attend Vice President Sara Duterte's impeachment trial in person starting Monday, July 6. Bantog says 61 seats will be available to the general public for each trial day. As per its advisory, the admission of seats are on a first-come, first-served basis, determined by the order of successful registration through the Senate Visitor Management System. Registration will open at 2 p.m. one day before the scheduled trial date, and visitors are advised to, quote, maintain proper decorum at all times. The impeachment trial is set to begin on July 6, with the impeachment court approving a total of 92 trial days. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. will hold several meetings in Vancouver, including a bilateral meeting with Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney. The choice of cabinet ministers joining Marcos in Canada reflects the trade and business focus of his official trip. In a briefing on July 1, Palace Press Officer Undersecretary Claire Castro said Marcos will be witnessing the signing of frameworks and cooperation agreements covering energy, natural resources, trade and investment, labor and immigration, tourism, and culture and the arts. He's also set to meet with various Canada-based businesses and officials covering mining, IT and business process management, telecommunications, nuclear energy, and financial services. Ottawa's envoy to Manila, Ambassador David Hartman, said that Philippine-Canadian bilateral relations and the Greater Indo-Pacific are dinner table talk in Canada, a reflection of the two nations' close ties. As of 2024, Canada ranks as the Philippines' 20th largest trading partner. After being away from competitive action for months, Filipino pole vaulter EJ Obiena is slowly getting his groove back with consecutive gold medals in Europe. He rules the Austrian Open and sets a new stadium record of 5.75 meters in Eisenstadt on Wednesday, July 1 local time or Thursday, July 2 Manila time. This is his second straight first-place finish following his victory in the Czesław Cybulski Memorial in Poland last Monday. This triumph marks the first time Obiena won back-to-back golds since he defended his home turf in the Atletang Ayala World Pole Vault Challenge in September 2025 and captured a fourth straight title in the Southeast Asian Games in Thailand in December. Then, he did not compete for nearly 3 months after a 9th-place finish in the World Athletics Indoor Championships in Poland in March. Obiena is the only Asian member of the exclusive 6-meter club and now travels to Greece to take part in the Fly Athens on July 5. And that's today's wrap. I'm JC Gotinga. Thank you for watching. Click the link below for the full story. For more updates, download the Rappler app.